beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ram, pork, dog, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rat, beans, greens, potatoes.
Hi, I'm Bandit and thank you for tuning in to my video. If you're new, please hit the subscribe button below. Leave me some feedback. Today I'm going to be coming to you guys with a Thanksgiving inspired halo eye. This look is acceptable for any like social gatherings, any family dinners. What I really meant was the bougiest cousin in the living room challenge, but okay. Just to go out and slay, like have fun this season with your family, and let me know what you're thankful for below in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next video. So jumping right in with my Nicka K23 colors palette, I'm just going to use that tan shade as a transition color. This looks very close to my concealer color, and this is just the color I use to give me that flawless blend down into my other colors that will be on my actual lid. So then we're going to take my Morphe 350M palette, and we're going to take that orange peachy shade, and we're going to add that right up underneath that first color we used, just blending it back and forth. And you guys will start to see me actually go back and forth and then on top of my lid, because this will be a really warm halo eye and we don't want to miss out on any colors being blended down all over. Using that same Morphe palette, we're going to jump in that rusty orange red color, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to follow the shape of my actual eyeball. My eyes protrude a little bit more than others, so it does make it easier for me to create a halo eye because I just follow the actual shape. And you're going to see me just make small circles back and forth on both eyes, building the intensity on the outside and leaving it more subtle in the middle using that shade. What I want you guys to notice for this second eye is that I'm not just following the shape of my eyeball here. I'm making it to mirror my left eye that I already did in this video. So you guys will just see me blend back and forth, but I'm kind of following the same shape that I created for the first eye. So although my eyes are not symmetrical, I want them to look as such. So now we're going to jump in this brick red color. It's more red than it is orange, and we're just going to layer that right on top of that orange that we originally used, and you guys will see that it builds this to almost look coral, and I really enjoy working with these colors. So now taking my BH Cosmetics palette, I'm going to take that very pumpkin orange, and I'm just going to do the same thing, building the colors how I want. Jumping into that last red, we're going to repeat those same steps that we did with the first two shades, but now you guys are going to see me start to drag it more towards the center. This is how I create the rounded look when I cut my halo out of my eyeshadow. To deepen these shades up, I'm going to take like a very purpley burgundy color, and I'm just going to add that right on my outer V and then right in the inner V, and I'm going to kind of make that a rounded arc shape. And this is just to give us some contrast from using all of those red and orange shades, and it just gives us more depth in our eyeshadow. So I'm going to hop back into that Nicka K palette, take that dark cocoa color on my original fluffy brush, and I'm just going to create a deeper arc in my eye using that color. That's going to give us more of a smoked out deep purple effect. And then I'm just going to take some black and add it to the outer and inner V to smoke that out just a little more. It looks more gray here, but that's because of the contrast it has from using the red and the oranges. Using my MAC 226 brush, I'm going to go into my RK by Kiss Midnight Adventures palette, and I'm just going to smoke out my outer edge with that burgundy shade that's in that palette. This just gives my transition area a more blended effect. It looks like I took way more time than I actually did to blend out my eyeshadow. So now taking LA Girl Pro Conceal in the color Fawn, I'm going to start cutting out my halo. And this doesn't have to be perfect. I just generally use back and forth motions after I decide how far up I want to go. And deciding how far up I want to go just consists of me putting some concealer down and then blinking, and wherever that it lands is the place where I will stop. But sometimes I take it a little bit higher for more dramatic purposes, but for today we're going to stick in that area. So now we're going to take that charcoal ash gray out of the Nicka K palette, and we're just going to blend it in the outer V on top of that concealer we just laid down, and in the inner V as well. And that way that we don't have harsh transition areas from our halo into our eyeshadow. And then I'm just going to take the fluffy blending brush that I cleaned, and I'm just going to blend that outward. Now taking that cream shade out of my Midnight Adventures palette, I'm just going to lay that down on top of that wet concealer we put there. This just gives a pigment that shows underneath the glitter we lay down if there is any sparse areas, and then it sets that concealer so we don't have to worry about any transfer or creasing throughout the day. And I'm just going to blend that out. Now taking the Gold Crystal Liquid Liner from NYX, I'm just going to lay that down on top of that tan shade that we just applied, and I'm just going to use back and forth motions just so that we can get an even coat. Now taking some concealer on my detailer brush, I'm just going to clean up my eyeshadow on the outside. I don't like to use tape because it does create water next to my eyeshadow, so I just learned how to clean it up this way. I blend it out with my finger and I move right along. So taking my original transition area shade, I'm just going to put that on top of my other shadows just so we don't lose any color and that we have a flawless blend down. So taking my BH Cosmetics Orange Corrector in their Total Coverage Concealer line. This is one of my holy grail products. Y'all, look at how little I use and how full coverage it is. Like, I cannot live without this orange corrector. And then you know you can't have eyes like a raccoon on Thanksgiving. Stop playing. You know you gotta color correct those under eyes and around that mouth, because how you gonna be the baddest chick in the living room? How if you didn't color correct? I'm going to set that same concealer that we just used with a similar color. I used the coral out of my Nicka K palette just simply because it isn't too orange and it isn't too peach, and it just kind of complements my skin. So now taking my Tarte Amazonian Clay foundation, I think this is in Warm Honey, I'm just going to dap a little bit all over my face. I usually don't use just this foundation when I use it because although it is full coverage, it gives you too much of a moussey, like lotiony feel for my own face. So I'm going to go a step further. After placing it all over my skin, I'm going to take my Kat Von D, my favorite foundation, and that's in Neutral 78, and I'm just going to mix it with that and blend that all out everywhere. These two together definitely give you that airbrush look that anybody would love to go for. So now I'm going to take the BH Cosmetics concealer in 119, and I'm just going to apply this all over my face. And I know that it looks very close to my skin tone, but I am going to use this as my base for my concealer. This concealer is my holy grail. Like, y'all, like, I love LA Pro Girl Conceal, but this is it. Like, I can't. And so what I'm going to do is use this as a base, and I'm going to take my LA Pro Conceal in the color Fawn, and I'm going to use it just in the inner corner to lighten it up a little bit. And you guys will see once I start to blend, it looks like my perfect under eye highlight shade, and that's hard to come by. So we're just going to blend that out as much as we can using my Real Techniques beauty sponge. And y'all, I am turned because I love warm eyeshadow looks, and when my foundation just comes all together, it just makes me a happy camper. So the BH Cosmetics concealer does dry down matte, but I am going to set it with my translucent Airspun powder, and I am not going to sweep this off my face today. I'm just going to keep taking my beauty blender and pushing it into my skin. And I didn't get a white cast with this, honestly, so I was very excited to see my skin look great, no flashback, and I didn't even have to use 3 or 4 powders on top of my concealer. Now taking my RK by Kiss mineral powder in Ebony, I'm going to start to carve out my cheeks, because what would you do without a carved cheeks? You gotta carve them turkeys, so carve them cheeks out, just so you can have those cheekbones sitting high and that face looking flawless. So now I'm gonna take my beauty blender and just blend out anything that I still see that doesn't look good. So I did try to zoom in for you guys this time so you guys can see how I actually do my liquid liner, and what I could tell you guys is that I follow the shape of my eye against my lid, and then I drag my wing according to the outer edge of my eyeshadow and just bring it in. So hopefully me zooming in helps you guys see what I do a little better, but it's really hard to explain. So you guys will see me go back in and fix some things, but you cannot hesitate when using liquid liner because you will ruin your wing. So now I'm just going to go back in and contour some more and just get my cheekbones to the intensity that I want them. And you guys are going to see me pick up my e.l.f. palette, and I'm going to add the deepest shade of, it's like a purpley red color in there, blush quad, and I'm going to add that on top of my contour for warmth. You guys have seen me do this in other videos, so if you're looking for the shade that I use, I will have you guys go back to a previous video. And now I'm going to start to blend that out. That's my Bella Pro Concealing Buff and Blush Brush, I think that is called, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm just going to blend my contour out. Y'all really don't know the anxiety I feel. Like, I really almost snatched my whole wig back, and no, I didn't have no pins in it, and no, I didn't have no cap on, so I would have been very, very upset. And I'm just gonna take that buffing brush and continue to blend out my contour until it gives me an airbrush finish. Like, I do not play. I will blend my face out over and over. So now taking blush out of my e.l.f. quad that I used earlier, I'm just going to add that to the apples of my cheeks, and I'm gonna drag it along my contour because I just like that. For me, it just makes me happy. Don't ask me why, I just do it. Mind your business. Because that blush is a little too light for my liking, I'm going to take my Beauty Treats palette and I'm just going to add that rusty color blush they have in there just to give me more of a red look instead of pink. So now I'm taking the RK by Kiss All Over Glow in Bronze Glow, and I'm going to add that to the heights of my cheeks and my nose and my forehead and my upper lip, just so that it gives me a glow. But I'm going to add more highlights. So now I'm going to take Might Be by ColourPop and I'm going to add it right on top of it. I couldn't show it because they sent it to me broken a very long time ago, but I do love that highlighter. So I'm just going to place it on top, and then you guys know I gotta go in with my Carly by Belle palette, and I'm going to add that right on top of those other highlighters. And though my glow is real, I am going to blend that out. So you guys have reached the end of the video, and this is the final look. And so if you could do that one favor for me, if you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.